What is the perception of Brunello di Montalcino in the Middle East and specifically in Dubai?
Well, Dubai has got an incredibly diverse audience. It's a very international and cosmopolitan audience. So I think there's probably a lot of different perceptions in there. But I think traditionally, Brunello is a brand in itself. But with the growth of Dubai, with its specific wine scene, its culinary scene, there's been more demand for more specificity within Brunello. So I think Brunello has a draw and an appeal to even the most conservative drinkers, but I think more and more people are wanting to explore Brunello. So attending an event like this, where you really get to see the breadth and depth, is a wonderful opportunity. And I think for Brunello, the range of styles that are available now can appeal to an international audience as well as to the traditional followers.
What is the role, the importance of Brunello di Montalcino in the wine auction?
Yeah, well, at Christie's, we sell a lot of Italian wines. I mean, it is a small component of what we do at Christie's, but Brunello di Montalcino, it's got a great reputation in terms of the Italian wines that we sell at Christie's.
Half of the wineries in Montalcino are organic. What do you think about this, about the importance of going to a policy of respecting nature?
So I think it's critical, especially with an area as historic as Brunello, to have a continued respect for the environment with a particular attention to the soil. I think it's impossible to expect this history and the level of quality to sustain itself in the absence of a very high level of respect for the environment, which from a viticulture perspective, I think requires organic practices in the vineyard. I don't really see any other way. So I look forward to the other half making the conversion.
How does the Brunello di Montalcino 2018 vintage fit in the context of the other 2018 vintage?
If you mean from Europe, there's a general divergent idea from what is 2018 as a perception understood in the context of the vintage around Europe. So most of the time, more continental Europe, you have a 2018 which is very dense, it's very ripe, and it's a sort of a generous vintage. Montalcino, this is very divergent, it's an exception, even compared to Barolo. It's an exceptional vintage because it's outstanding in the context of this ripeness thing. It's more delicate, it's more slender, perfumed and fragrant vintage compared to the bolder and more generous ones of the rest of continental Europe.
So Brunello di Montalcino in China, what could you tell us about it?
Well, it's a quite specific question. In terms of figure, I'm afraid there's not enough figure to identify the positioning in China, because it's a huge market, but by region, they just don't have this kind of statistics. But overall, I think Italian wines does have its own great place. It's getting better and better over the years, especially the fine wine segment. For Brunello, the market has been quite disturbed by the whole global events. But I think in the future, looking at the popular styles of China at the moment in terms of finesse, the elegance, and the acidity, vibrancy. So probably I think with that all together, it's giving great potential for Brunello. One important thing to look at is on trade with the restaurant business. So if you can be prepared for the next wave when the restaurant business is coming back again, there's definitely an interesting segment to look at.